In the blink of an eye, Trusty and Rachel had shrunk down to fairy size. Trusty unfurled her delicate wings and smiled. It felt wonderful to be magical again. Thank you, Josh, Rachel, fluttering over to give Alison a hug. Alison giggled with pleasure. If we are all tiny, she reasoned, Mr. Beetle won't notice if you take some time away to try to save his art class. Let's get closer to those goblins, suggested Krusty, taking Rachel's and Allison's hands. The fairies flitted across the classroom as fast as their wings would take them. One by one they darted into the door hatch cut into the side of the goblin's model rocket. There was just enough room for them to fly up into the center and peek out of the cardboard window. Rachel hoped that the goblins wouldn't see the three little clouds of fairy dust hanging in the air, but she didn't need to worry. The clunky new boys were still so busy arguing, they didn't even notice. I wonder where my badge is, Allison said, popping her little head out of the rocket window. "It can't be far away," answered Rachel. Suddenly, Kirsty had a great idea. She fluttered up inside the nose cone and, using all her might, pushed the roller-up paper off the top of the rocket. "Maybe if the rocket needs to be fixed, the goblin will have to use the magical gold star badge," she declared. "Good thing Good thinking," Rachel agreed, flying down to the bottom of the rocket. With a giant fairy heave, she managed to push the 8 carton engines away from the base. At the very moment, a deafening shout shook the model from top to bottom. "What happened here?" roared the bigger goblin, noticing the damage. "Who's been messing with my rocket?" "Don't start blaming me again," complained his friend, as the bigger goblin picked up the rocket up to take a closer look. The, look, the loose 8 carton engines fell off the bottom. His face turned a horrible purple color. "It is you," he fumed, pushing the other goblin back to his chair. The smaller goblin was indignant. "Why would I want to do that?" he argued, before grumbling under his breath. "You probably knocked it off with your big, clumsy hands." Christian, Rachel, and Allison clung to the cardboard walls inside the rocket, their hearts pounding. "It's obviously not me," barked the bigger goblin. How could I mess up the rocket when I have the fairy's magical star badge?" With that, the goblin pulled Allison's badge out of his pants pocket and waved it in the air. "This could be our chance," said Allison, pointing out the rocket window. But suddenly they found themselves on the move again, grabbing the broken pieces and some glue in one hand, and the rocket with the fairies inside in the other. The goblin raced across the classroom. He tore right past Amina and Adam with a mop and bucket, straight out of the school building. "What is he doing now?" cried Kirsty. "Students can't leave class without permission." The friends were knocked around terribly as the goblins ran faster and faster. He headed into the playground before finally setting the rocket down. As soon as the model was steady, Allison, Kirsty, and Rachel snuck out of the hatch door and flitted out of sight. With a wave of her wand, Allison turned the dolls back to human size. Kirsty and Rachel ducked behind the jungle gym and waited, thinking he was alone. The goblin crouched on the ground and started to glue the broken pieces of cardboard back together. "This rocket was all my idea," he muttered. "Wait till they see it fly through the sky." As soon as he put the model back together again, the goblin started to clamber up the jungle gym. Rachel saw her chance. "Hey," she called, "What are you doing with that amazing portrait?" The goblin's face broke into a proud smirk. "I bet you wish you'd made it," he taunted. "Look at all the awesome features I added." Rachel winked at Kirsty. Goblins really were the vainest creatures in her world. The new boy couldn't resist showing off every detail of his model, while he droned on about how smart he was. Alison fluttered up behind him. "I think I can get it," she mouthed, pointing to the badge sticking out of the goblin's portrait. But before Alison could swoop down and take it, a sly look across the goblin's face. She rummaged in his portrait, pulled out the badge, and held it up in the air.